Hello there and welcome back to another edition of the Hot Lap Classic, and welcome back once again to BTCC week here on the Hot Lap Classic, where we're going to be celebrating a bunch of British touring cars that are in this game because the BTCC season is kicking off on the 8th of April. Today's car is the 1998 Nissan Primera, which of course takes the form of the 1998 touring car. This car was requested by Miniko Aino, I believe that's your name. I appreciate you waiting on this one because you've been waiting quite a long time on this one. This car is also known as the Infiniti G20 in the US release. Of course, we've had quite a few Nissan Primeras go around this course, and well, this is another one to add to the list. In my opinion, this one has the worst racing mod of the three. I really like sort of the Calsonic and the Castrol liveries of the other two, but you know, this one is a touring car, which does make it cool all over. The Primera was never really one of my favourites when it came to the touring car liveries, although it does have a mid-mounted exhaust, which is a bit weird. Anyways, front-wheel drive, 328 horsepower, 1,102 kilos of weight, fair amount of torque. I believe this has more torque than the Honda did last time, but it is slightly less powerful and has a slightly more weight. Anyways, to find out how it's going to get along, it is going to get 6 laps of the Motorsports Land tracking attempts at the best time it possibly can. Our current leader is Suzuki Scuderia Pikes Peak Edition, that's set time in 27.010. This car unlikely to beat that. As far as the Primeras go around this course, they hover around what we roughly expect most of the cars this week to do, which is a 31.5. Indeed, the Primera GT from 1990 set a time of a 31.530. So, yeah, not quite sure what the 95 was. I couldn't see it on my very, very brief look. Primeras are pretty good cars to drive, usually. This one certainly feels like a much different car to that Honda from last time, a lot less understeer in this particular one. Anyways, first lap 33.161, of course first lap really doesn't matter what the car sets at all, because, well, we're going to rectify that in the next coming laps. And in the case of the Honda, that car really did manage to turn its fortunes around, setting a very quick lap time when that car set the time yesterday. So yeah, interesting to see what the Primera did. Interesting enough, this car actually has Vodafone badging on it, which you wouldn't really expect it to carry over. The race mods are a little bit weird. Some of them will carry along certain brandings and stuff, and others of them will not, and indeed they'll get to trouble for some of them, like the NASCAR, which is the Ford Taurus SHO race mod. Of course, Polyphony, I believe they received some form of copyright on that one because it was the Valvoline car and they didn't ask permission on that one. I have no idea if they asked permission to use the British touring car liveries. I don't really know. Oh my god, a 31.257. Okay, this car is quicker than yesterday's Honda. This car's quicker than a lot of front-wheel drive cars, actually. That was an extraordinarily quick lap, actually. I will say, the Primera, as I may have said previously, much nicer to drive than that Honda was. It's a lot less understeer. It does suffer from a little bit of off-power understeer, which we have seen multiple cars exhibit before, and we're never quite sure why they do that, but they do. Yeah, this one seems like it does not exhibit that behaviour, and that is a certainly nice thing. Obviously don't like cars having off-power understeer because it makes the cars rather strange when it comes to handling, because you've basically got to keep your foot in it, which is never usually advice I'd recommend. If you're understeering off a place in real life, I'd recommend probably keep your foot on it, but there you go. Of course, that is a trait shared with well, Gran Turismo games up to this day, including you know, later releases like Gran Turismo 4. Obviously the race cars that have a lot of downforce obviously have a lot of off-power issues, because basically to keep those cars going around corners, the idea is that you, well, keep your foot in it and keep generating downforce, and as soon as you take your foot off it, you stop generating downforce. It's very weird. It's, yeah, strange. Anyways, this car cannot be ashamed with that. 31.257, quicker than yesterday's Accord by a fair bit. Interesting point to note on that car is there is actually colour options for it. You can change the colour of the little sun strip that appears on the car. Anyways, a 31.257 is going to put this car into 85th place. It goes in between a Honda Civic VTI and a Mitsubishi Legnum VR4, quicker than a Viper GTSR Eureka, a Nissan R390 RX-7 MR2, slightly slower than a Renault Megane Nissan Skyline R32, Mugen Prelude, and the Alfa Romeo 145. I'm just going to try and quickly look for that 95 Primera. There's the 90 with a 31.508, and the Primera GTD 131.8. So, interestingly enough, 31.8, 31.5, 31.2 increases in implements of 300ths of a second. Anyways, that's it for this episode. Thank you all very much for watching. Next time, I'm going to be taking on another British touring car, so join me for that. Until then, farewell.